challenge to really drill down on these barriers in each of these working sessions and come up with a strategy that we can put to work. We can do it together. Build partnerships here, you know? Develop those strategies, but also network to the point where you've got the right people in the room to build a strategic plan to address the barriers. Our team, and we've been working at this for quite some time. And frankly, I come from farmers. I'm a farmer. My parents farm. My parents' farm. I understand the culture. And they're not out reading our scientific literature. It's not that they can't, it's just that they don't really want to. And it's not that the science isn't important, because we know it is, but we have to be able to make it user-friendly so that they understand how it is that it can be applied on-farm. Making this stuff available is really what our challenge is. They adopt these practices because they trust people, and they trust their neighbor, or they trust their peer farmers. And that's why we have worked hard to develop a mentor farmer network, support team that can really do a job, I think, with respect to helping other farmers see these practices at work, so that they can actually come on other farmers' places and actually kick the tires, right? And see how it functions and how it works. Our field days, the farmers are the feature. They are doing the talking because they have the credibility. They've got the skin in the game. They've been doing it, so they're the icons. They're the rock stars that we need to elevate and to put out in front of other farmers if we really want to see some adoption happen. Farmers do trust their crop advisors and their PCAs, and I think that's an important consideration as well. We do need to give these people new tools, new training, new ideas that they can bring to their growers. There's a lot of allegiance there, a lot of, they rely on them, and especially when things get tough. They've got a situation that they can't handle themselves. They bring in experts. Let's make sure that those experts actually understand regenerative agriculture, or conservation ag, or sustainable ag. I'm not really, you can call it whatever you want, but we need new tools, and we need those advisors giving advice that can really help them address the biological approaches to farming. Make it more of a biological approach. So technical advisors, the same. Our extension agents, of course, those are the individuals that we need to prep and to make sure that they have the tools that they need in order to bring this information to growers, to farmers. And yeah, this whole day is really about addressing these barriers to adoption. And there are many. And this isn't a very inclusive list, but it's some of the biggies. Cost and resources, funding and stability. I'm worried to death when Karen leaves office. All the progress that we have made in California, are we going to walk that backwards? Because suddenly we don't have an advocate down in Sacramento that really understands what we need in agriculture. That scares me to death. That's funding and stability. It's also knowledge gaps, regulatory friction. We do have conflicting policies. When you think about, we're advocating for livestock integration, and FSIS is saying, are you crazy? They're worried about, food safety issues. Not that we shouldn't worry about food safety, we absolutely should, but how is it that we can work these two seemingly opposing ideas and make it work so that we're actually building this soil health in a way that's meaningful, and that we have livestock integration in a meaningful way. So our program has really been dedicated to this, where we're trying to pull together the research, the technical training, and fill that gap of getting that information into the hands of farmers. So we have developed quite a few programs in order to address that gap. We do have a regenerative ag option within the plant soil science degree, which we're really excited about. That's the future. These are the students that are going to be out becoming these technical assistance advisors, the extension agents. We need to train them well. We need more places where we can plug those students in so that they can get that hands-on experience. They need skills. We do have a training program, a technical assistance training program, where we do a lot of great on-farm research, and we have our own team. And we've made a contribution to this impact on land. We're at 35,000 acres of impact with just our team. And I think the big take-home message, we have more demand than we have bandwidth. We could double, triple that impact with just our program. Think about your program and how many people you connect with, how many acres you could help transition if you only had the bandwidth. So I think building this network of regenerative ag farm demonstrations where we have whole systems at work. I love our research farms and those kinds, that's great, but we need whole systems that are functioning as a whole farm, and we plug people in at that stage so that they can see a whole system in play. And it is, it's not one farm, it's not one university, it's a whole network. It's connecting dots in this room completely so that we're all working together toward that same end goal. Each of those farms could become their own classroom where I know farmers can come on and actually see the process of cover crop termination at the right stage of that cover crop maturity so that they can get an effective roll down with a roller crimper or livestock integration. It's putting our students on your farm. We have students. They need places to learn. We would love to hook you up. So let's talk. Researchers, of course, working together. I think it's brilliant when a scientist will go onto a farm and say, I know this farm is working. Let's figure out why. Not, well, I have this thing and I'd like you to try it and then we'll field test it. We need whole system contrast studies where a scientist comes on board and says, how is it that your farm is functioning so well? Dale, how is it that you can cut back 50% on your fertilizer? How did you do that? And study that phenomenon and then put that into the scientific review. So ultimately, that's an idea that we can use in order that we can get regenerative ag at scale, that it becomes the norm. And we need to work together. We're all partners in this. The universities, our government, our farmers, our conservation organizations, we're all in this together, and it's really going to take these partnerships to make this all work. So, there is no universal recipe per se, but ultimately, I think working together, we can really make this happen. We need to make it scalable. And to do that, we need to make it accessible, practical, profitable, and scalable. So we have got a really big job here. We've got all of the parts and pieces. Now we need to string them together so that we've got meaningful strategies to making regenerative agriculture the norm. It needs to become agriculture. Thank you.